Good morning to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so we'll start a new chapter, that is per unit system and per unit calculation. So, say under module 2, so we are continuing with the module 2. So under that, there is a chapter that is per unit system. We'll continue first and then we'll proceed. Okay. Do you have any idea on this per unit system? Anyone? Anyone? Do you have?
Yes, sir. It is used to degrade the value. Means अगर मेरे पास 500 है, 500 का वैल्यू है, 500 वोल्ट है या कुछ भी है, तो हम उसको क्या करें कि सिंपल वैल्यू में लाने के लिए उसका बेस डिवाइड कर देंगे.
ओके ओके ठीक है, मैं आपका बात मैं समझ गया हूँ. यस, partially it is correct. Any other opinion from anyone? Anyone?
Sir, ratio of actual value is to rated value.
Okay, okay. But any idea about why we are going for this per unit system? Means what is the use?
For easier calculation, sir.
Easier calculation. Okay. 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 Now let us start with this per unit system. See, in power system, there are different electrical quantities like voltage, current, then power, then impedance. Okay. That impedance may be resistance, reactance, then susceptance, conductance. So there may be so many parameters will be there in the calculation of the power system. Okay. So when we have to deal with those quantities, if we are taking those values, that is the actual values, then sometimes it becomes difficult for the calculation purpose. Okay. See, in the transformer, if you do the calculation, I think you have studied already this transformer, single phase transformer, maybe a simple one. Okay. So in single phase transformer, you have seen that when you are calculating on the primary side, so you have you can calculate voltage and current. Okay. And maybe it is supplied from the supply. But when you are referring to the secondary side, you need to multiply by the turns ratio and all those things. Okay. If you have to calculate the voltage and current on the secondary side. So this kind of calculation, it is very, very cumbersome, and it is basically when we are doing this process, that time it is taking a more time. Okay. So in view of that, we have a common.
Sir, some students are waiting.
I think I have entered all the students. No student is entering. Means waiting. Entered. Okay. There's no student is waiting. Okay. So now you see this particular common base concept, it is introduced because when we are dealing with those different types of quantities, so that time it is very easy to have a common base. Okay. So for example, let us say in the class there are for example, let us say there are 30 students. Okay. Now in a particular exam, the students, they have got different marks. Okay. So some of the students out of 30, let us say the exam is taken, and some students scored, let us say 28, some 25, 13, 14, let us say 18, or whatever may be. Okay. So that those marks they have got. Now we have to come to a common conclusion. Okay. What is the per unit value of those marks? So I will go to the board and I will discuss something on this prior to introducing this concept. So let us say, for example, I will make it a very simple one. There are 10 students, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now out of 30, the marks are, let us say 28, 25, 26. Let us say this is 21. This is 27. This is 19, 17, then 23. Then let us say 24. Then let us say this is 10, something like this. Okay. These are marks obtained by the different student. Now we are assuming the base mark of that particular exam. This is our standard, for example. Okay, the teacher has decided that for this particular exam, the reference mark or the base mark should be, that means the based on the question pattern and all, this is, let us say 25 should be the base mark. Now, what should be the per unit value of all those marks? So how to calculate? So some student has got 28. So when you have to calculate the per unit value, so the actual value by the base value. So whatever you will get, that will be the per unit value of this particular student. Okay. Similarly, here you see it is very easy because base mark is, for this case, per unit will be 25 by 25. This will be 1 per unit. So similarly, for the third student, if you want to calculate, it is 26 by 25. So like that. So you can calculate. So for other student, the similar way you can calculate. So what will happen? So you have a base platform. Based on the base platform, you are comparing the others. Okay. So here also in the similar kind of picture will come in the electrical engineering also. We have a different electrical quantities, and when we have to deal with these electrical quantities in a common platform, we need to have some common base. Okay, and based on that particular common base, we have to calculate the per unit value. So how to do this per unit calculation? So we'll see that thing, but why this is necessary? That is basically we have introduced that thing. So the per unit value of any quantity is the ratio of the actual value in units to the chosen base quantify of the same dimension expressed as a decimal. So per unit quantity is actual value in any units divided by base or reference value in the same units. So if it is a marks, so actual value of the marks by the base marks or the reference marks. So something, if let us say you want to calculate the per unit quantity of current, so actual value of the current by the base current. So now the base has to be chosen by the user. The base has to be chosen. So in power system, the basic quantities of importance are voltage, current, impedance, and power. These are the basically basic quantity in electrical power system. So these basic quantities, we have to deal with this per unit value. Okay, how we have to do those things, we'll discuss in detail. Okay. So for all per unit calculation, a base kVA or MVA and a base kVA are to be chosen. See, unless and until you choose what is the base power and base voltage, you cannot calculate the current and you cannot calculate the impedance also, because we know the relation. It is current is basically your power by the voltage, and your impedance is voltage by the current. So unless and until you have this base power and base voltage, you cannot calculate the other quantities. So once the base values or the reference values are chosen, the other quantities can be obtained. Okay, how to obtain those things will come step by step. So we'll discuss, and we'll let you know that how it has to be done. So selecting the total or the three-phase kVA as base kVA for a. So when it is a three-phase system, what has to be done? This the total power of the three-phase kVA or MVA may be chosen for as a base. So now we'll come to the some of the formula. Okay. So suppose you have to calculate the base current in ampere. Okay. So what is the formula? So it is very easy. We have to understand one step by step. So it is base kVA. So you have to choose the base kVA. That is very, very important. Base kVA has to be chosen. Divided by √3 into base kV line to line. Okay. So I will go to the board and I will discuss. Okay. So base current. So first of all, we have to calculate what is the base current. So base current, if you have to calculate, so it is the first thing is you should know the base kVA divided by √3 into base kV. So these base kV should be the line to line. This formula is clear, or should I explain it? This formula is clear?
Yes, sir.
So no need for that explanation because it is self-explanatory, because it is the formula √3 into base kV, √3 into voltage, power by √3 into V. Okay, that is your current because it is a three-phase system. Next is your base impedance. Base impedance in ohms. So how to calculate the base impedance? It is base kV square by √3 into base kVA by 3 into 1000. So how to do this thing? So impedance means it is basically voltage by current. It is voltage by current. Now voltage by current, if we have to explain this thing, voltage by current, so here it is, you see base kV is there. Now if you down this thing, base kV, √3, and this is divided base kVA by 3. That means it is a per phase power. Okay, this is a per phase power. Now per phase power, and here you see this is base kV by your, see, we have substituted basically this thing. We have substituted this thing. This is base kVA. Okay, this is base kVA by 3. Okay, by 3 into base kV. This √3 into this. So it is not a very difficult thing. I will explain this thing. So this is base impedance in ohms. So base impedance in ohms. So what is the impedance? Impedance is basically voltage. So this will be base kV by base current. Yes or no? So this will be base kV. Now here you see when you are substituting this thing, this is base kVA. Now base kVA here, we have to understand one thing. This is base kVA. So this is base kVA by 3. This should be by 3. Okay, because we are calculating the per phase. Okay, and then you are substituting this into base kV. This is going up. Okay, this is going up. Okay, so base kV square. So finally we got this. Okay, this one. Now next is the base impedance in ohm. So base impedance in ohm means base kV square by base MVA. Base impedance in ohms. So this is basically what will happen here. You see, this is base kV square, and if you are consuming this divided by 1000, this 1000 is multiplied here. So if you are dividing this base kVA by 1000, this becomes base MVA. So basically this formula is, it is basically that formula. Okay. Now base impedance in ohm, base kV square into 1000 by base kVA. So these are the two basic rules. Okay, base kVA line to line square into 1000 by base kVA. Now if you are dealing with the phase values, let us say if you are dealing with the phase values, so what will happen? So base current will be base kVA by base kV. The base impedance will be base voltage by base current. Voltage by current is your impedance. So base voltage is base kV square, and base current is, we have substituted here, you see, base kVA into base kV. So this base kV is coming in the numerator. This thing we have substituted here. Okay, and into 1000. Now this 1000, why it is coming this 1000? We have to make in, it is in ohm. Okay, so this particular thing, this is in kilo range. So we need to make it equal. Okay, that means here base kVA by base kV. So what? But here in the numerator you have a base kV. So base kV we are converting into volt. Am I clear, or are you getting any difficulties? This is clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
If you have any difficulty, please tell me, because we are discussing this thing. So here, base impedance in ohm, I will better, I will go to the, here I will discuss. So base impedance, it is in par phase. These calculations are in par phase, you know. So base kV by base current. Now we know base current. What is base current? Base kVA by base kV. Now you see here we are substituting this thing. So this is equal to base kV divided by base kVA. So this is base current So this is base current calculation by base kV. So what will happen, you see here, this kVA will cancel. So it will be in unit. Okay, but here it is base kV. So kV we need to convert in volt. So what we'll do, this thing will be base kV into 1000 the whole square divided by base kV. Now is it clear? Is it clear?
So once again, sir.
This is base kV by base current. Base current equal to base kVA by base kV. So you have substituted here. Base kV by base kVA by base kV. Okay. Now here you see this kilo will cancel. Kilo there is no problem. This volt ampere if you take it is 1000 and here it is 1000. So you are converting it into your actual unit. Okay, means in the normal unit, volt, current, that like that. So this base kV will be in the numerator, that is base kV square into 1000. This we are kilo to we are converting to volt. So 1000. And this will be base kV. Okay. So this is the basically expression when we are doing with the base current.
सर तो वो बेस वोल्टेज सिर्फ होना चाहिए था ना?
Which one?
सर वो जो बेस केवी का होल स्क्वायर लिखे हैं तो सर वहाँ सिर्फ वोल्टेज होना चाहिए था ना? के तो खत्म हो गया 1000 बार के तो.
I cannot get you. Which one?
सर डिनोमिनेटर में जो के है सर, अगर ऊपर में 1000 दे दिए हैं सर तो वो तो कैंसिल आउट कर देगा ना सर, डिनोमिनेटर वाला किलो को.
Okay. You mean 1000? Do you mean this one?
Yes, sir.
You want to mean this one? This 1000?
Yes, sir.
See, simple thing. It is in ohm. Okay. So what will happen? This base kV square by base kVA. So this will be in what? This will be what?
Volt, sir.
Volt, correct. Suppose I am writing here. You are telling that this should be then base voltage. Okay. So suppose I want to write in base kVA. That's why this 1000 is multiplied. Suppose, for example, it is, let us say, 22 kV, and then let us say this is 1000 kV. What will happen? I will substitute here 22 kV. This is 1000 kVA, and this is 22 kV. So this kk will not create any problem. So what is this? This is your ampere. Am I right or not? This is your ampere.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But now you have 22 kV.
Yes, sir.
You have 22 kV? Yes or no? So kV,
Yes.
what will happen? It will be in kilo ampere.
Yes, sir.
By ampere, this will be in kilo. It will be in kilo. but we want in ohm. So this unit should be in base kV. This should be a base kV, and we are multiplying by this. So if you let us say this one, so what will happen? I will make 22 into 1000. Okay, divided by 1000. This is actually this value 1000 into 22 square. Now we'll get in ohm. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Multiply this 1000, you will not get in volt. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you have doubt, please tell me. I will explain once again.
Sir, clear, sir.
Someone has doubt. It is clear now, na?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Then we will proceed. Okay. So now, so this formula is base kV square into 1000 by base kVA per phase. Now, this thing, it is again, this formula you can express in terms of MVA. So it is very easy. This is base kVA by 1000. So it becomes MVA. Okay. It is nothing. This 1000 is there. So you divide this base kVA by 1000, this will be base MVA. So base kV square by base MVA per phase. Is it clear, these formulas? Okay or not?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, fine. So in all above relation, the power factor is assumed to be unity. So normally here, whatever calculation we are doing, we are assuming that the power factor of this system is unity. So base power kilowatt, that is equal to base kVA. So the per unit impedance, how to calculate the per unit impedance? It is the actual impedance in ohms into kVA by base kV square into 1000. So it is basically actual impedance by the base impedance. So already you have calculated this base impedance. So it is nothing like that. It is nothing new. Okay. Base impedance you have calculated, that is base kV square into 1000 by base kVA. So this thing you have just substituted. I will just go to the board and I will again explain so that it will be clear. So how to calculate the per unit impedance? So the per unit impedance per unit impedance, this is actual impedance by base impedance. So actual impedance, you will calculate with the formula. Please, it will be given. It will be given in the problem. Actual impedance and base impedance we have calculated. That is, what is the formula? It is base kV square into 1000 divided by base kVA. Yes or no? Just now.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Just now.
sir.
So actual impedance into base kVA by base kV square into 1000. So this is the basically formula to calculate your impedance. So sometimes it may be required to use this relation. Sometimes it is required actual impedance in ohm. So this is a simple arithmetic calculation. Actual impedance in ohm, that means per unit impedance into base kV square into 1000 by base kV. So this formula you should remember. This is the very, very important thing. So when you will do the calculation, that time these formulas will be actually required. Okay, you should know this formula actually. So very often the values are in different base values. In order to convert the per unit impedance from the given base to another base, the following relation can be derived. See, sometimes one base is given and you need to convert into some other base. So this is some unitary method. Okay. So suppose you want to convert to a new base. Okay. So you have an old base and you want to convert to a new base. So suppose initially you have a 100 kVA is the base, but now in your system it is given that is 500 kVA. So you want to convert all the quantities which is given as per this 100 kVA base, you have to convert it to 500 kVA. So how to do that thing? So in that case, your J per per unit value is given into new kVA base by given kVA base into given kVA base square by new kVA base square and into Z given. So I hope if you know this thing, so then it will be clear. So per unit impedance 1, that is it is given equal to actual impedance in ohm into kVA by base kVA square 1000.
वही टाइम चल जाता है लगा दिया हो गया.
Hello, someone's mic is unmuted. Please cross check. Okay. Now, is it clear? This formula is clear. Should I explain it? This formula I should
Sir, please.
Huh?
Sir, please explain. Sir.
Okay.
Please
No
explain.
issue. No issue.
पावर फैक्टर को इंटू नहीं करते हैं.
Power factor we have assumed unity. Power factor we have assumed unity. So that's why there is no question of multiplying this power factor. So everywhere it is unity for the sake of calculation, because in transmission line, when we are dealing with those things, so the power factor is assumed to be unity. So now we'll explain this particular formula. This is per unit impedance. This is, let us say, Z given equal to actual impedance in ohm into kVA by base kV square into 1000. Okay, so let us understand this thing. So let us say Z given, this is per unit. This is actual impedance to base kVA. So this is what we have written there. We'll just see that thing so that you can understand later on. Given and new, these are the two quantities we have. Given and new. So this is given. Okay. So base kVA given by base kV whole square. This is also given into 1000. Similarly, Z new per unit, this will be equal to actual impedance into base kVA new divided by base kV square new into 1000. So now let me clear this thing. Okay. Now we'll take the ratio. Okay. Now we'll take the ratio. So now we'll take the ratio, that is Z new per unit by Z given per unit. This is equal to, this actual will cancel. Actual will cancel. So what will happen? This is a new one. So new one means this will be base kVA new by base kVA. This is given into, this will be just, this will be new. So new will be the denominator. So this will be base kVA, kV, base kV's square. This is your new, and base kV square into given. So if you have to calculate the Z new per unit, so you will have Z given per unit into this parameter. Now this is clear. Any doubt? Any doubt? Please tell me. Is there any doubt?
Clear, sir.
Huh?
Clear, sir.
Clear?
Clear, sir. It's clear.
Okay, fine. So now I will refer to slide. So this is the thing. New kVA base by given kVA base by given kVA base by new. So that's what we have written here. We have written, just see, this is a new. So new is in the upper, given in the lower. This is upper and this is lower. Okay. So now what are the advantages of the per unit system? So while performing calculation, referring quantities from one side of the transformer to the other side, serious errors may be committed, and this can be avoided by using the per unit system. So that's what I have told in the beginning of the class, that when we are referring some quantities from one side to the other side, there are some data we are actually losing. Okay, there are, when we are doing some approximation, because in the voltage or current calculation, we are losing some data. So how we are losing this data? I will tell you just thing. You may understand, you may think that what data we are losing actually. Suppose you are calculating something, the current you are calculating. Some calculation it is coming 133 by, let us say, 5. Okay. So what is the value? So by 5 to 10, and then this is 3. So this is 26.4. Okay. Sometimes it may happen. Let us say a series will come something. Let us say it is 19 by 3. So what will happen? Track, and this is 3, 3, 3, 3, something like that. The 3 will continue. Yes or no? 3 will continue. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
what will happen? Suppose you are taking up to this portion, because normally we are used to take after decimal, two decimal we are taking. Okay. So what will happen? We'll lose this data. We'll lose this data. So ultimately, when we are calculating that thing, that error is getting introduced. There is some error is introduced because we are losing this data. Okay. Because of the approximation. This is because of the approximation. But when we are dealing this system with per unit value, that per unit means we are taking the whole portion. We are not losing any data. We are not losing any data. So the accuracy of the calculation will be more. So now next is the voltage, current, and impedances expressed in per unit do not change when they are referred from one side of the transformer to the other side. And this is a great advantage. This is a great advantage. Okay. Now the per unit impedance equipment of similar type usually lie within a narrow range when the equipment ratings are used as base values. Transformer connections do not affect the per unit values. That is the main thing. Manufacturers usually specify the impedances of machines and transformers in per unit or percentage of nameplate ratings. Okay. So any manufacturer, when they are actually selling their equipment, that time they are also preferring this per unit system. Okay. And they on their nameplate, they normally specify all this data in per unit or in percentage. Either of these they are normally specified. Next is the three-phase short circuit. Okay, three-phase short circuit. It is the in electrical engineering there are. This is generally a severe fault. Three-phase fault is a severe fault. Three-phase short circuit, it is also a severe kind of fault. So in the analysis of symmetrical three-phase short circuits, the following assumptions are generally. Okay, what are the assumptions? So normally we'll come to the different types of faults gradually, because in fault analysis we'll be dealing with the two kinds of fault. One is the symmetrical faults, another is the unsymmetrical fault. Symmetrical fault means if there is a on the three phases there is a dead short circuit. There is a dead short circuit, that is basically your symmetrical fault. And unsymmetrical fault means when either of these three phases, maybe one phase is faulty, maybe two phases is faulty, like that. Okay, and between the two phases there is a fault. So that is basically unsymmetrical kind of fault. Unsymmetrical fault means there is no symmetry is existing. Okay, so first we will deal with the symmetrical fault, then we'll come to the unsymmetrical fault. What in your syllabus it is there, that is symmetrical fault and unsymmetrical fault, because after this per-unit system I will enter into the fault. Okay, so first is the transformers are represented by their leakage reactances. The magnetizing current and the core fuses are neglected. So resistances and shunt admittances are considered. Star delta phase shifts are also neglected. Okay, this is the assumption. What we are assuming when we will perform the symmetrical fault analysis, we'll do this kind of assumption. Second is that transmission lines are represented by the series reactances. Resistances and shunt admittances are neglected. So you already we have discussed that in transmission line there is some shunt parameter, that is capacitance, and sometimes it is conductance is also there. So those parameters are neglected while we are performing this symmetrical fault analysis calculation. Then synchronous machines are represented by the constant voltage source behind subtransient reactance. Do you have idea of the subtransient reactance in synchronous machine? Have you studied synchronous machine?
No.
Huh?
No sir.
Huh?
नो सर, वो इलेक्ट्रिकल मशीन 2 में है सर. अभी हम लोग 1 ही पढ़े हैं, ट्रांसफार्मर और डीसी मशीन.
Okay, fine. So in synchronous machine there are three kind of reactances are there. First is the subtransient reactance, then transient reactance, then steady state reactance. We'll discuss in detail that how these reactances are actually introduced in the synchronous machine, because you have not studied it. Okay, we'll discuss in detail later on, not now. Now armature resistances, saliency and saturations are also neglected. Now all non-rotating impedances loads are also neglected. All non-rotating impedance loads are neglected. This has to be kept in mind. Then induction motors are represented just as synchronous machine with constant voltage source behind the reactance. Smaller motor loads are generally neglected. So induction motors are generally represented like a synchronous machine with a constant voltage source and behind a reactance. Okay, normally it has some inherent reactance, so we are representing with the help of that. Okay, so next is the per-unit impedance of the transformer, and prior to that I should take your attendance. Just a minute, because you give me some time. I will just open that thing. Just a minute. Okay, so please put your attendance. I think QR code is visible. Please put your attendance. So, you are able to give your attendance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now is it over? All of you have given the attendance? All of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now I'll stop share this thing. Okay. So now your syllabus for the past internal, which is scheduled from next week. Okay. So syllabus from my portion, it will be your inductance capacitance calculation and performance of the transmission line. These two chapters will be under your syllabus for the first internal. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So first you have the two chapters, inductance capacitance calculation, and second chapter is performance of the transmission line. Okay. I have given you all the material. That means you have got the slides, you have got all the videos. Yes or no? Till last lecture.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think all materials are uploaded in the YouTube and your LMS portal. So you can get those notes and you can refer your textbook and also any other books. Okay. So with this, today I will conclude. We'll continue in next class. Thank you. Thank you with this. Okay. Okay, I'll close this meeting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.